The morning sun of Nova Altera University, a floating campus orbiting the sapphire blue moon of Kesserin, spilled across the courtyard like liquid gold. Students of 100 species drifted between classes, some on hoverboards, some flickering in and out of phase, some chittering in languages only their translators understood, and, as always, Jack stood inside the bustling atrium cafe, waiting not for his caffeine booster but for her, behind the counter. Flicking her tail with the precise, smug rhythm of someone who enjoyed being a menace, was Sarah, the campus's only half-human, half-felid barista. Furred ears twitched atop her head, the tips dipped in silver. She moved with an almost lazy elegance, but every motion was intentional, calculated, and occasionally mischievous. Jack stepped forward, clearing his throat politely. "Large stellar mocha." "Extra foam," he said. Sarah's amber eyes narrowed with playful sharpness. "Name?" he exhaled slowly. Jack. She already knew his name. She had known it since the first week of the semester. Everyone did. Jack was one of only 3 humans in the entire xenobiology department and had become somewhat of a campus curiosity, but Sarah made it a point, almost a sport, to never spell it right, to tap the display panel, her claws clicking delicately. "Perfect," she purred. Jack waited. She turned the cup toward him. "It read Colonia QK." He groaned. "You did that on purpose." Sarah's tail curled into a question mark. "Prove it." The line snickered. Jack grabbed his cup, defeated but smiling despite himself. He always smiled. She always noticed. The truth, though Jack didn't know it, was that Sarah adored irritating him. Humans, especially this human, were endlessly fun. Her mother had been a Caesarenfelid scientist. Her father, a human diplomat. Sarah had inherited the patience of a cat, the sarcasm of a human, and the unapologetic chaos of both. Annoying Jack was her morning enrichment. But today, something felt different. When she glanced at him leaving the cafe, she noticed the tired slump in his shoulders. The way his gaze drifted toward the floor instead of scanning the atrium with its usual curiosity. He didn't look irritated, he looked distracted. That wasn't on her agenda. Jack spent the afternoon in the xenobiology lab, surrounded by glowing samples and holographic charts, but his mind drifted constantly. The research program he depended on was collapsing due to budget cuts. Humans were considered physically fragile by several species, even though HFY Stories across the galaxy said otherwise, and many doubted why a human should study dangerous, evolving alien life. He wasn't sure he'd stay in the program. He wasn't sure he'd stay on the moon at all. And leaving meant never seeing Sarah again. He tried not to think about that. Failed. Repeatedly. Evening fell. The floating campus shifted into biolume mode, walkways lighting up with soft blue algae light. Students gathered for night classes, parties, and simulations. Jack walked by the cafe on his way home. The lights were dimmed. Closed. He sighed. Then, tap, a clawed finger rapped on the glass from inside. Sarah's face appeared in the dim light, ears perked, tail swishing. She unlocked the door. "You look terrible," she said in the soft, blunt way only a catgirl could. Jack gave a short laugh. "Thanks, you're welcome." She stepped aside, letting him in. The cafe was dark except for the glowing machines. Sarah moved behind the counter with smooth confidence, tail trailing like a comet. "No charge," she said. "You're getting a real drink tonight." Jack sat at the counter. "You don't even know what I want." Sarah didn't look up. "Of course I do." He watched her blend ingredients: Gesserin star beans, synth cream, a square of crystallized nectar from the district farmers. She pushed the steaming cup toward him, this time. "No name on the cup? Just silence?" Jack took a sip. It tasted like warmth, like nostalgia, like something he couldn't quite name. Sarah leaned forward, resting her elbows on the counter. "Why were you sad today?" He blinked. "I didn't think it was noticeable." "It was extremely noticeable," she said. "Your face did this." She mimicked his tired expression with exaggerated dramatics, scrunching her nose and drooping her ears until he laughed. He sighed. "It's the program. They might cut it. I might not be able to stay." Her tail froze. Her ears lowered, an unmistakable sign of distress. "Oh," she said softly. "No," he raised an eyebrow. "You care?" She flicked his forehead with a claw tip. "Don't be stupid." Jack rubbed the spot, smiling. She continued, quieter now. "Humans don't give up. The galaxy literally writes stories about you refusing to die on death worlds. So why would you leave because some committee said no?" Jack looked down. "It isn't that simple." "It is," she replied. "If you stay, you fight. And if you fight," her voice softened further, "you stay with, the people who want you around." Jack froze. Sarah immediately hissed, ears flattening. "I mean people in general? Students, professors, not me specifically. Obviously, I am simply emotionally invested in the regularity of your morning chaos. That's all." Jack grinned. "So you do miss me?" "Absolutely not," she snapped. He kept smiling. She groaned. "Humans are insufferable." He leaned forward. "Sarah, do you want me to stay?" Her ears twitched violently. She looked away, embarrassed. "If you leave, who will I spell wrong?" Jack laughed. "You could just admit you like me." She froze. Then very quietly, so quietly he almost didn't hear. "I do." Jack's breath caught. His heart thudded. "Sarah," she lifted a hand. "Don't say anything yet. Just stay. Fight this. Humans always manage the impossible." Jack met her gaze. Amber eyes. Sharp but warm. "I'll stay," he said. A slow, relieved smile spread across her face. "Good." She reached behind the counter, grabbed a cup, scribbled something, and slid it toward him. He looked down for the first time. His name was spelled perfectly colon Jack docked, and beneath it, in tiny handwriting, from Sarah. Who spells it right when it matters? The next morning, the cafe line was longer than ever. Aliens gossiped about the human who made the catgirl smile. An event previously believed impossible. Jack stood at the counter. Sarah smirked. "Name?" He opened his mouth to answer. She raised a hand. "Never mind." "I know." She handed him a cup. It read, "My Jack." He didn't complain this time, not even a little.